Excellent. All right. Well, happy Wednesday, Michelle. We made it through midweek. How are you?
I'm good. Really busy, but good.
How's it going, Wendy? Happy
Hi, Wendy.
Wednesday to you.
And tomorrow is our pre-Posh Fest party.
Yeah, so if you would like to join, so Posh Fest is next week, and
This week.
Posh Fest is this week?
Mm-hmm. This weekend.
I am so confused.
This weekend.
Can someone please tell me if it's this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend.
I'm so confused. How's it going, Diane? Running from Genetics. And Wendy is Salt Creek Style. How's it going, Sandra? Variety Thrift. Happy Wednesday to you. Michelle and I are a little bit confused. Well, maybe I'm a little bit confused about the days. So we are attending a pre-Posh Fest event tomorrow. Tickets are $5 and they go to the benefit of a fellow posher who got into an accident. Yeah, so she got into an accident and different resellers have been saving money to donate to help pay for her really expensive insurance costs. So if you would like to join, the link is in our bio. It's $5 to enter, and then you also receive 2 raffle tickets with that. There's going to be a lot of prizes. The coolest thing, and we're going to be part of the fireside chat. Fireside chat, yeah. So like we're going to talk about Posh Fest. If you've never been, we're going to discuss like what it is. We're going to tell you guys like what we're anticipating, what we're looking forward to this year. Last year we went. It was our first Posh Fest, and no worries about late. You're not late. We just got started. And so, yes, if you want to attend, it is, you can get dressed up. It is a party. It's a 4-hour long party on a Thursday. Now, since we have many of you here now, can you please clarify, is Posh Fest this weekend or next weekend?
I'm 99.9% sure it's this weekend.
Okay. Yes. Okay, it's this weekend. Excellent. How's it going? Cynthia, Bill, Tina, Treasure Box Land, the Janice Marie, and Michelle. How's it going? So Diane said she's tired, crazy time at work right now. Oh man, sorry to hear that. You're eating right and you are always running and exercising. So I hope that helps. How's it going, Leslie? Happy Wednesday to you.
So Bill and Janice both said it's this weekend.
It's this weekend? Okay, thank you. I think things are going really fast and I can't read everything. Posh Fest is this weekend. Excellent. Yeah. So if you didn't score tickets on Posh Fest, they are sold out. But if you didn't score tickets, you can catch the replays for free on their YouTube channel. So highly, highly recommend it. There's a lot of really awesome resellers that are going to be on the panel speaking. And, thanks to Leslie, a reseller's passion. Happy Wednesday. We met a lot of really cool people through her, including Bill. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so definitely join on the weekend, but like pre-Posh Fest party tomorrow is another huge networking opportunity. So there's a lot of Poshers there that are going to be there. So
Sandra,
check it out.
Variety Thrift is asking, Michelle, taco recipe, please. They look good.
Those taco recipes. I asked her today if she can make it again. It was delicious. Yes, there's going to be breakouts on Zoom for networking. So that's something that we're really excited about. Yeah, Michelle made the yummiest tacos yesterday for Taco Tuesday. We did have a question on our YouTube about, this is what the comment was actually. So the comment from a subscriber was, can you do a video on listing tips? We have a room full of resellers that can attest to what we're going to discuss tonight and or offer some of their own tips. And so they said, for example, like apps. It
says that we're frozen.
Is it still? Okay. Apps. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
so apps, software to use, photo tips, tags to use, cross-selling tips. I currently only use Mercari, but I'm interested in using other. So she actually did mention that the next one she wants to check out is Poshmark, right? So, I think this is really interesting what we're going to discuss today. If you don't think about it, you're going to be like, oh, listing, that's like, we do it in our sleep maybe as resellers, but there's some really key things that I think are worth even just reminding ourselves or going over that maybe aren't so obvious as it seems.
And this is, listing is actually a skill you pick up as you go through the experience of selling items, because once you have that skill, once you have the basic knowledge, you can list across multiple platforms using the same concept.
Yeah, so it is like Michelle said, it's a skill that you can transfer, right? It can be transferred. So the first thing we're going to start on, like as with anything, is the listing title. So if you guys know anything that we don't cover, please, please, please include it in the comments. We would super appreciate that. So first of all, when you are listing a title, there's two main things that we believe are important. One is obviously the most important is an accurate description of what you're listing. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Well, let's say that you're going to sell a Coca-Cola can, a can of soda. At that point, you want to make sure that you say, okay, in the title, this is a can of Coca-Cola. I know it sounds, and that's how it should be done. It needs to be super duper basic so that when someone is finding that item, they actually find your item. We're going to give you a quick example that we talk about in our Etsy webinars, but we're selling vintage television, for example, right? So, in the reseller world, we love using the word vintage. We become very familiar. We love just throwing the word around. But someone who's on Google, who maybe doesn't know that that's even a thing, right? Let's be real here. It's something that we learned about in the reselling world, maybe some of us. They are not going to write vintage TV when they're searching for a vintage television. So what are they going to write? They're going to put old television. If you didn't write old television in your title, your item is going to be lost and nobody will see it. So we have a quick question here. So Bill said, are you ladies taking Friday and Saturday off from reselling? I know it's virtual this year, but no, we can't do that, unfortunately. We won't be able to do that this year. We have jobs that we must be at. Yeah, unfortunately. How about you guys? Are you guys going to take work off? I feel like this is like a very sensitive time, for the workplace, and we do need to make sure that we are there.
Janice has a great tip. Go down. She said, when listing, do not use emojis.
Excellent tip. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, so thanks for including that. Don't use emojis because that's not going to tell me anything about Coca-Cola if I want to sell a can of Coca-Cola, right? Okay, what's the next thing that's important, Michelle?
Well, again, you got to make sure the brand is there. You got to make sure the size, color, if there's space allowed in whatever platform you're using, add in the style, add in the model number or the material.
Yeah, relevant keywords. It's funny though, I like this comment from the Janice Marie. She said, just like the word authentic, it bothers me. It should be authentic if you're selling it 100%. Like
That's funny.
It's against the law to sell things that are not authentic. Yeah.
That's funny.
Don't put in those extra fluffy words in there. Eco Exchange says, and don't put Pepsi if you're selling Coke. I know this sounds silly, like it sounds common sense, but no, don't put Pepsi if you're selling Coke, because if someone is looking for a Pepsi can and they see your Coke can, they're going to be angry. So that's an excellent tip as well. This applies to any platform that you are using. Of course, today we're focusing on Mercari, eBay, and Poshmark. Mm-hmm. And Bill said we're taking the weekend off, going to do a recap on Sunday and Monday with Sarah Styles. That sounds like fun. Yes. We've done it before. We've taken time off work to attend business meetings and whatnot. But this year we just don't feel like it's the right time for us. But how exciting. If you guys don't know Sarah Styles, give her a follow, especially on Monday and Sunday. Girly Girl Style and Bill, 324 Finds, are going to be there doing a recap of Posh Fest. Like, honestly, that's exciting, doing the recaps. Let's just review a couple more tips here. So Michelle says, if those keywords are in your listing and not in the title, does that make a difference? That's a good question.
From the training, I took a training course. They said it doesn't make a difference because if your description has those words, it'll still pop up, but it's important to, let's say when you're shopping, you go through a bunch of listings, certain words will catch you, right? Catch your attention. So the title is certainly a lot more important than the description.
Excellent. Good job, Michelle. Yeah. But also like I'm, you know, I've taken some software coding classes before. And from that perspective, at the end of the day, it's a computer. So you have to think like a programmer, right? So in title, put title. In description, put description. As simple as that. But yeah, like Michelle said, you might be recycling words. So there's no need to necessarily be repetitive in the description. You may want to use that, you know, to give a further description. So, all right. Yeah. And then a great tip from the Janice Marie, use words you would use on a Google search for your title 100%. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. That's going to be getting into keywords there in a minute. So we're going to move on to the next tip there.
Yeah, we just have some examples here just to show you. So, for example, if you're selling clothing item, you know, we have this Lululemon cashmere sweater, medium, blue, men's V-neck, new, long sleeve. It's all the information you need to know.
That's a mouthful, but...
Yeah, and this would fit on eBay. So we're going to talk about words limitation in a little bit. But, you know, if it fits, put all the important things there.
Exactly.
In terms of electronics, you can do Dell, Chromebook, you know, some specs in there. You could talk about the processor information, because some people really care about like the memory of their computer, so they do type in those things.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely include size and color on clothes, and like if it's electronics, model description and things like that. You know, again, there's limitations on how many characters you can use in a title, but we're going to tell you about that in a minute. And so let's go on to, where is that one, Michelle? I don't see it on here.
Okay. All right, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, where's the character limitation for the keywords?
Oh, we're going to get there.
Oh, we're going to get there. Okay, sorry about that. So, okay, so we do have a couple comments, so let's not forget about those, and a couple shout outs. How's it going? And Jamea and Standout Staples, happy Wednesday to you guys. Michelle says the reason I ask is because sometimes the title cannot fit it all, and so just want to make sure by putting other keywords in the description helps. Good question, 100% yes.
Definitely prioritize the important detail in the title list.
You want to start from the most basic description. And Diane says, what are your thoughts in all caps in a title? No all caps in a title. Never, ever, ever use all caps in the title. I thought I heard it messes with the search and isn't able to be picked up correctly. It does. It messes with the search. Google web crawler does not like when you use all capitals. It will not favor your listing.
Also, supposedly on your phone, when you use a mobile app, it doesn't pick up the all caps either.
So Standout Staples says, hey ladies, can't wait to see you at the pre-Posh Fest party. It's going to happen in less than 24 hours. Looking forward to seeing you there as well. Standout Staples. And Michelle said, also heard putting dashes or other type of characters in these messes it up. Is that correct? Messes up the SEO, or
maybe.
What are we referring to? If you think about it, you want to think like very basic, like a computer. If you're trying to sell a Coca-Cola can, would it make sense to put an emoji? No. Would it make sense to put other kind of characters? Maybe not. I don't think it'll bring value, to be honest. I would just stick with the words. But again, don't hold off, because we're going to build on that, and there's more to it. So, all right. So tip one, another tip, sorry, this continues on. Listing title, glean keywords from other similar high-selling items. So if you are selling an item, you know, I'm a teacher in my day job, and so something that we always say as teachers is like, don't reinvent the wheel, right? So you can go on to comps, what has sold already. If you have your item is a, you know, popular item, it has sold already, look at how other listings describe the item. Look at their titles and glean from their descriptions and titles.
So here's if you go back, here's an example that we're showing. So for Poshmark, you can actually look at sold items. And you know, I've pulled 4 examples here. These are UGG boots listings. You can see how many people like the item too. So perhaps if you look at the last one that says new at tag, you know, it has all the information, size, color. Use those keywords, as it seems like it worked.
So we do have a couple comments here in continuation. Let's see here. So Standout Staple says, do you use Google Lens in your search? Oh, we haven't done that yet. Do you use Google Lens in your search? Yeah. We've used Google Lens before to look up an item, which is really cool. That's an awesome app. Yes, Google Lens that we don't, that's not easily found online. We have used it for that. Bill says, please make sure to use caps for each word though. Can you explain that one further,
like
Bill?
title case.
Because it's a title? Mm-hmm. Okay. Diane said, that's what I thought. And then Michelle said, referring to special character in the title listing, messing up SEO. Look, Michelle, just speaking from like a programming standpoint, if I'm a computer and I'm trying to pick up words that are being, that are repeated, or what we're going to get into, long tail keywords, I'm not going to want those extra characters in there. I feel like it could mess it up. Yeah. Now, I don't know off the top of my head because I would have to work for like, one of those platforms to know for sure and maybe be a developer there and see how they're doing it. But to be safe, let's just not include any unnecessary characters in there. Now, Courageously Threatening says, for example, t-shirt. I think that is its own word. T-sure is its own word versus no-sure versus just TEE and shirt, right? So again, that's a good question for the programmers on those platforms, which we just don't know.
Yeah, and Michelle, what I usually do is if there's space, I use everything. I exhaust T-shirt, I use shirt, I use TEE if there's space.
That doesn't work for long tail keyword though, Michelle, but it does, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it in a minute. Yeah. Hashtags, yes, but not for long tail keywords. So again, but Michelle, that's a great question, and you should definitely Google it, because I do believe it's disclosed. Like on Amazon, they explain some of these things to you. All right, and Standout Sable says, it's awesome. I do. What do you use it for? If you don't mind letting us know. Bill says, it's always good to see sold items, at least on Posh. Yes, check the comps. You can get some ideas if you're stuck with the listing title. 100%. So again, Standout Staples has the same questions that we do. Why do we need to capitalize each word, Bill? And then we have a question here. And so the question is, do you use Google Lens in searching on Google by photo? Excellent. We do use it sometimes.
That's a great tip. I gotta look into it.
It is. It's definitely a good one.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. So let's go to the next picture there. Here it is.
All right, so another tip similar to what we talked about, especially if you're selling on eBay, definitely utilize the sold items listing. Take whatever they used on their keywords, and also, if you can, we recommend use the sell similar tool or sell one like this, because the algorithm shows that it's been sold, this item has been sold, so eBay will detect it, and when you relist it, it's going to be likely boost your listing. So yes, that's a very good tool. Sell similar.
Sell similar on eBay. Excellent. So let's get into the characters. So there's a limitation on title characters. So eBay only allows 80 characters, Poshmark 50, and Mercari 40. So that's something to keep in mind, right? I'm selling a Coca-Cola can, so the most important thing I need to do is describe my item. It's a Coca-Cola can. Now, if I have more characters, I can say, oh, this is a special edition Christmas 1990 Coca-Cola can. If I don't have, if I don't have the extra characters and I just want to stick with the basics.
We have a couple.
How's it going? Nikki, happy Wednesday. All right, so yes, so we do have a couple comments. Nikki says that eBay has picked up for me. So happy to hear that, Nikki. Is it because of the white background from our last conversation? Is that what it was? Bill says, people read the English language as it's written. I've seen listings without proper English writing that look sloppy. Attention to detail. All right, yes. And then Diane says, hold on a second. She says, but double check when you do sell similar. Sometimes it brings over details that are incorrect or don't apply to your item completely. Thank you for saying that, Diane. Yes, that does happen. So this is like you're back in school in a way because it's writing. You need to be careful. You need to check every single detail. You don't want to make a mistake where you have a size large and then it says M, and then it's going to give you a bad it's going to give your customer a bad experience. So
and,
good tip.
Yeah, and I think what Diane meant also is that sometimes what if the person who sold the item had some wrong details in there, so you're going to pick up their errors.
That too.
And list the errors.
That too, 100%.
Good call, Diane.
So maybe don't copy paste the listing, but look at it as a reference. Use it as a reference. All right, so the next tip here is regarding hashtags. So first of all, Mercari uses hashtags, but eBay and Poshmark, to our knowledge, does not. Diane agrees with you. She says yes. So what to do on that, right? So a tip for hashtags is, you guys don't need to see the words, but a tag is, what is a hashtag? It's a word or a short phrase that describes your item. And so this has to do with the programming and how their software is set up, right? So tags are matched with shoppers' searches to find relevant results. Mm-hmm. So tags are important. So use multi-word tags. For example, you want to use like handmade earrings versus just the word handmade, mm-hmm. right? Or just the word earrings. Mm-hmm. So you want to use multi-word tags. Prioritize long tail keywords over generic terms. So that's the exact same idea. So this is kind of like where I think Michelle's question kind of ties in, because long tail keywords is, for example, if we say vintage 1990 earrings, right? Vintage 1990 earrings are 3 words, and in that order, vintage 1990 earrings. So that actually creates, it's a long tail keyword. It's more than one word, right? And it's recorded in the search data. And so you can actually, on Mercari, you could actually save, if you're looking for this, you could save your search. So anytime somebody puts, vintage 1990 earrings in their hashtags, or even in their titles, I think, from Mercari, then it's going to be picked up.
So in other words, we recommend don't use the hashtag just earring. Put as much details as you want, as if you're searching something when you're buying something.
Yeah. So use old TV instead of just TV tag. Old tag. No, use together. Old TV or 1990 vintage TV. 1990 TV. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's continue here. So this one, Michelle, did you want to talk about this example?
Just a quick example. We've got this DVD, a VHS player. So you don't just put VCR or just put hashtag VHS. You got to put in as much information as you want, as many possibilities as you want. If someone is looking for a Philips VHS DVD player, put that as a hashtag. So here's an example. Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. We do have a couple comments there. So Bill says Mercari hashtags reminds me of Twitter. It's exactly like that. On Twitter, you also notice the long tail keywords. And then we have, Michelle said, I also have problem with knowing how to, or what to hashtag. Yes. So you can, this didn't even dawn on us, but you can find a couple of websites where it will give you, it's like a keyword website, just Google it, and they will give you ideas on what kind of keywords you can use. So if you type in the word vintage, it's going to give you a bunch of words that are connected to that to provide you with ideas. Another place you can get ideas for hashtags is on Pinterest. So if you go on Pinterest and you write vintage TV, pay attention to the words. Pay attention to the board and what's pinned on there and what kind of, words are being described for those items, for those blogs, for the information, because we're talking about soda, which is a perfect example. And here in California, we say soda, but in other states, people call it pop. So actually, in my description, if I want to sell a can of Coca-Cola, I'm going to have to say can of Coca-Cola soda pop. Because if I exclude pop, I'm going to miss out on a big audience that's probably also looking for that can of soda.
All right.
Thanks for bringing that up, Michelle.
Our subscriber also asks for some photo tips. So here's an app that we use. It's called PHOTOROOM. It's amazing. I know there are other apps that does the same, has the same feature, but we've been using it and we've been really happy with it. It is free, but there will be a watermark on the image. So if you don't want the watermark, it's $46 a year without, or you can pay monthly.
Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm cracking up in the comments because I totally forgot about this. I've heard about this before. So the Janice Marie and Diane said, running from genetics, that in the South, everything is Coke. That is hilarious because it's not just in the South, but my background, I'm from Mexico, and our Hispanic family also calls everything Coke. So I totally get that. Yeah, so you have to put Coke in there, right? Coca-Cola and Coke. Yes, together. I mean, we should create a group just to think of keywords, right? We should just brainstorm everything together. How's it going? A couple of shout outs to Lizette. One Thrift Aholic. How's it going? I love that. One Thrift Aholic. Standout Staple says, do you ladies use Pinterest for obtaining new customers? Customers in which way? Like
you could,
for Poshmark, for selling our items? Possibly. On Poshmark, you can tie your social media. On Poshmark, and this is not about Etsy, but on Poshmark and Etsy, you can tie your social media to your products.
Yeah, we actually, every time we list an item on Poshmark, we do share it in our Pinterest board, but I don't know how many sales that
exactly
generate.
We haven't really tracked that, but we've also used Pinterest to promote some of our other digital products. So Standout Staple says, hey Marina, my name is Marina too. That is so cool. Hi Marina, it's rare to meet another Marina. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. So the PHOTOROOM app, we've talked about it. One quick thing about the PHOTOROOM app is that it is only available for iPhone at the moment. So hopefully they make it available for Android soon. Mm-hmm. So a quick tip for camera pictures, make sure to use a good camera. However, we recently did a live on, on creating the perfect photos for your products. And you guys can find that. It was recently, about a month ago or less, and it's a 26-minute audio podcast on Apple Podcasts. It's on IGTV and YouTube as well. So we're going to move on from pictures to tip number 5.
Tip number 5, exhaust pictures on each platform. So we have a list here. eBay allows you to do 12 photos, Poshmark 14, Mercari 12 photos. So make sure you take as many photos as you can. Exhaust
the pictures from the platform. It's really, really important to do that. So that's one tip for listing. Tip number 6, price items competitively. Yes, this is included in the listing tips arena. And so what apps are there to use to look up comps? And we use Sellhound, we use Check-a-Flip, we use Completely, and we use Terapeak. Now Terapeak and Completely are just for eBay, but Check-a-Flip, is Check-a-Flip just for eBay too, or does it also include other platforms?
eBay.
eBay also, yeah. And then Sellhound uses all of the platforms, which is awesome and fantastic.
Sorry, Bill, it's 16 photos. That was a typo, not 14. So Poshmark has 16
Poshmark
photos.
Is 16 photos.
Yep.
Yes, it is. I do remember that. So let's go back to a couple of comments here. So quick shout out to Online Clothesline. Happy Wednesday to you. And Diane says, trying moving from California to the South, got made fun of for my use of soda. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine that. Okay. I will write a note to ourselves for when we go there next time. And Bill says, I have mine tied to Twitter. Yes. Standout Staple says, like funneling people from Pinterest. You definitely can and should do that 100%. We would recommend a niche. I think Pinterest is a whole nother thing to discuss. And you know what? We haven't discussed that. So maybe that can be on the radar. But yes, Pinterest is huge for getting traffic. Huge, huge, huge. And all right, we have good comments on PHOTOROOM. People like it. Resellers love it. Lizette says, I use my Samsung Surplus to take photos. Okay, does that allow PHOTOROOM, Lizette? All right, very good. Okay, so for Samsung, the app is Snapped, I think. Not familiar with it. Snapseed, Snapseed, and Pick-a-Pigo, something like that. All right.
Oh, you didn't do this one.
So the next one here.
Tip number 7 is spread your listings. So we recommend you not to list all your listings in one day. Spread everything out. Do a couple a day. Well, not a couple a day, but if you have 100 items, don't list 100 a day. It'll help you boost your listings.
Spread out the listings. If you have 20 items, which is maybe a little more realistic, don't list all your 20 items on the weekend, which is what we used to do. Don't do that. Spread them out, list 3 a day. That's gonna boost your exposure on the platform. Like every platform is doing this, so make sure that you spread them out. And this one is thanks to Bill. Bill says, or so we heard, something like this, list 17 items or more a day. So that one is thanks to Bill. So yes, please try to increase your listings. If you want to increase your sales, you got to increase your listings and your numbers. It's just part of the game, right? As much as possible. And finally, we have tip number 9, which was also a question. For us, we use Vendoo.co to cross list. This is a cross listing tool. It allows us to list across the 4 major platforms that we sell on, which is eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Etsy. We recently started selling also on Depop. So we do a little bit of Grailed and Depop, and those are included in there as well. We know there's people out there that don't use a cross-listing platform, but this is what has worked for us. There's other platforms out there that do something similar, like List Perfectly and some other ones. We've tried other ones. Again, this is just what has worked the best for us. We have gotten 17 listings done in about an hour and a half time. So that's pretty good. Yes. So Vendoo.co. If you guys want more information, or if you don't yet have this, you can feel free to send us a DM with questions. We have a 25% off your first month link in our bio on Instagram, and you can start using it for free. You could list 5 items a month for free if you just want to give it a try.
Question.
And we're going to go to a question that we have here. So Bill said, there is always vintage fashion guild for vintage items. Where can we find that? It's not a question, but we appreciate the comment. So where can we find Vintage Fashion Guild, and what is that for? Is that for comps? Okay, so excellent. This is actually taking us to, Michelle wants to talk to you about this slide right here.
Oh, this is Vendoo. It's basically showing what platforms that you can list on. So eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Grail, Depop. Hopefully they'll expand to more platforms.
Oh yeah, they're I actually spoke to them recently, and they're working on 2 new platforms.
Ooh.
So I don't know what they are, but looking forward to seeing what they
That's
are.
awesome.
And one last thing about Vendoo is you cannot list on your phone. You have to use a computer, but you can create drafts on your phone. So if you're like using your phone's camera to take pictures and create your listings, you can totally do that, and then you'll hop onto your computer to finish the work. And we do have one more comment here from Fauna5. Says clothing and shoe inventory storage. Yeah, actually Vendoo does help you store your inventory.
Is that what she meant?
Yeah, or I'm sorry, did we get the question right?
Yeah, well, in addition to listing, Vendoo does help you. You can relist very easily. You can import your existing listings very easily. You can keep track of your sold items. So once an item is sold, all you need to do is click sold. It'll delist on all the other platforms.
It'll delist that item on all the platforms, which is huge. Yes.
Yeah.
And it keeps track of your sold and still live inventory. Yes. So Google Vintage Fashion Guild shows you labels and years of clothing labels for help listing and dating items. That is so cool. I did not know about that. Okay, I guess it's time for Q&A. Fauna5 says, sorry, how do you store your items?
Oh, okay. We have an inventory list, so that's something I learned from PoshFest thanks to Tori, and it's girly girl style. So there's a system that you could create to store your items. We initially just kind of shove everything in a room, but that would not work once you have a lot of items.
Yeah, and we put our items, like we actually after we take a picture, we put them in poly bags. They're ready to be shipped out, and we put them in bins. So that's all. We try to do this with all of our items, except for like the larger ones, of course. Yeah. And so I think that's it on the questions. Oh no, we have one more question here. So Cynthia asked, what site do you use for keywords that had been working for you? So we actually aren't using a site, but there are sites out there. So that's something that we can maybe talk about. We're going to look it up, and you can send us a DM. We could tell you what it is. There are sites out there. We've included some of those in our Etsy workshop, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are interested, we do have 3 webinars on how to sell on Etsy. All of that is available on our website, flippinggals.com. But we're going to go to our meme of the day, which is right here. And so, Michelle, go ahead. You're the buyer.
Oh, I'm the buyer? Okay.
And first of all, the item that is being sold here is a Pop Wallet Plus case for $15.
Okay. So I'm the buyer. Sorry, I offered it because I saw that you previously sold one for $14. Would you be willing to do $14?
Sure, I can do $14.
Thank you. Would you also be able to change the item type to clothing in order to get rid of taxes?
I totally don't understand this at all.
So they tax you on certain categories. Clothing item, apparently they don't tax you. So this person is asking the seller to change a category so he or she doesn't have to pay tax.
Oh, because it was a purse. Got it. Yes. Okay, someone got it. Bill got it. So, so Cynthia says, I had to do your webinars. Yeah, the Etsy webinars are really fantastic. Please be sure to check them out if you're curious or want to improve your Etsy game. They're really, really great. Standout Staples Marina says, do you use inventory report from Poshmark?
No, we have not explored that.
Yeah, we really haven't done that. We keep track of our own inventory, and we use Excel, so we're able to filter at the end of the year, you know, what percentage we sold on which platform. And those are things that we do talk about. If you're brand new to our channel or our information, we do have a freebie available on our website. It's the top 20 items we sold last year that brought us about, I think it was like $3,500. If you want to check it out, it's absolutely free. And yeah, okay. So there's a lot more crazy customers out there.
Yeah.
I had one today. We're selling a hoodie brand new for $55, and the offer was I think it was like $15, and it's like, sorry, we just can't do that. But
no.
All right. Well, thank you guys
for joining us.
Thank you for joining us today. Tomorrow's live is going to be canceled, but you can catch us at the pre-Posh Fest party, 4-hour party, a lot of networking, a lot of raffle prizes. All is going to go to a fellow Posher who's in need of healthcare funds. So we hope to see a lot of you guys there. The link is in the bio. If you haven't purchased your ticket, it is $5. And we hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thanks again for joining us this evening.
We'll see you at Posh Fest.
See you guys
tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.